Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and we're here at Lasden Park and Arboretum in the town of Somers to bring you our Westchester Weekly Update. I'm joined by Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins, and in a few minutes I'm going to call upon First Deputy Commissioner of our Department of Parks, Recreation, and Conservation, Peter Tartaglia, who's also here as we spotlight a lot of our recreational programs as we head into the holiday season. We're having this conversation on the Monday before Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving kicks off the traditional holiday season that leads us into Christmas and the New Year celebration with Hanukkah and Kwanzaa as part of that overall holiday period. We were just here at Lasden within the last 2 weeks to recognize Veterans Day, because this is also the location of our Westchester County Veterans Hall of Fame. And so we're back again in this beautiful Arboretum, which is the site of our Holiday on the Hills program, which we'll talk about in just a second. But before we talk about the extensive parks and recreational activities that Westchester has now at this time of the year, I'll highlight a couple of other substantive issues. Just this past week, we had the opportunity to meet with the three major bond rating agencies. They're all Wall Street-based firms, and they make a credit-worthy assessment of Westchester County and every other government, small and large, across the nation. We met with Fitch's and also with Standard & Poor's, S&P as it's also known as, and Moody's, and each went through a series of questions for our budget and finance individuals, and then also to talk to those of us in general management to get a sense of how Westchester County is managing its fiscal arrangements. Fitch has already come out with their new assessment, which is going to involve the rating for our bonds issued by Westchester County, and has revised our county's bond rating upward, the outlook from stable to positive. And a positive outlook is better than a stable outlook, and we're appreciative for that. We have a AA+ rating with Fitch, and that is a very high rating, just short of the highest possible rating, and we're very gratified. That upgrade from stable to positive has been identified because of our improved financial operations. This is done by some very talented professionals in all of our various departments, particularly Karen Hablow, who is our finance director, and Larry Sewell, who is our budget director. But the strategic planning as well as the budgeting has increased the county's unrestricted general fund balance, which is very important, and it bolsters our overall financial resilience. In normal terms, we have more money in our savings accounts, so we're more prepared as a county to deal with unexpected things that may yet come. And of course, we're swirling in a world of inflation and the potential for recession. So to have a larger fund balance is an important thing to show that we've been meeting our obligations, that we've submitted a budget to the Board of Legislators that doesn't have any gimmicks in it, any one-shots to finance our operations, and that we've shown the willingness to meet our obligations, all of which gives us this very positive outlook. So we're appreciative for the rating we've gotten from Fitch. We'll wait to hear from Standard & Poor's and Moody's in the days to come. Our AA+ or AA1 ratings are very high ratings as they are, and going at one point where we had a negative outlook to stable, now stable to positive, is welcomed, and we want to thank our professional financial team to highlight that. I also want to mention two other things before we get into our parks and recreational situations. On the recent election day held almost 2 weeks ago, New York State passed an Environmental Bond Act, which allocates $4.2 billion statewide for major environmental projects. That was an important element of what we looked at for our future as Westchester County and the communities of Westchester County, and we're now planning to have in the first quarter of 2023 a meeting that will involve all of the different municipal governments of Westchester County, our own professionals. We'll bring in some individuals from New York State that are involved in setting up how you can apply for the funds through the Environmental Bond Act so that we can tackle the substantive projects that will improve our water quality and drinking water quality, will improve our shoreline protection, help us electrify services that are currently using fossil fuels, and a host of other things that make us more environmentally sound and sensitive. The voters have cast their vote by overwhelming numbers, 73% here in Westchester County, over 65% statewide. And so now we want you to know that the next step in this process will be a briefing session where all of our affected local governments can get updated by it. We'll let you know when that date is, and all of the relevant people will be invited to attend that session. I also wanted to highlight that we're making progress on the Westchester County Center. The center was set aside almost 2 full years ago as a vaccination center and sort of a healthcare center for us during the heart of COVID. The state returned that from that function back to the county, but a reconstruction of the center. If you were in there for vaccinations, you saw how much changes were made in that facility. We'd like to return it to Peter, Kathy O'Connor, and the rest of the PRC team for its original purpose as a great venue for parks, recreation, and so forth. We expect to get a better readout of when that will come back online, and we'll try to report to you over the next 2-3 weeks as to what our hopes are. We hope we'll have it back up in time for the Section 1 basketball finals, and we hope it'll be up during the course of next year. But we'll keep you posted on that. That is also on our list of things to do. But we want to switch gears to where we are today, Lasden Park, where we open our annual Holiday on the Hills train show. And that opens up this Saturday, November 22nd, this coming Saturday. This will be open on select dates through Saturday, December 31st at the end of the year. Tickets are on sale now, and you can get information for those tickets online, only available online at lasdenpark.org. And you may be seeing that on the scroll of the screen. This is a 5,000-plus square foot indoor and outdoor exhibit space. Inside the conservatory, the trains will chug along on 12 multi-level tracks. This is my childhood dream come true, that I would see model railroading of this level, something I could never get in my parents' basement or around the Christmas tree when I was younger. But there's 12 multi-level tracks. It goes over bridges, through tunnels, under waterfalls, with all of the scenery and the little houses and stores and so forth that will be here. And kids and adults of all ages will love being able to come and see this train show here. We'll get it started in just a few minutes. And you'll also be able to visit with Santa. Santa will be spending some of his precious time here at Lasden to hear the wishes of young children and maybe some old ones who want to sit on his lap, I guess. But we're very happy that this particular holiday season treat will open up this Saturday, but we have more coming. Ken Jenkins, our Deputy County Executive, will be launching our Winter Wonderland drive-through, so we'll let Ken tell you about that effort. Ken.
Thanks, George. And certainly our Winter Wonderland drive-through holiday light extravaganza at Kensico Dam Plaza is going to start this Friday, November 25th, and it's going to be open most nights through January 1st. The tickets are on sale right now, $25 to $35 per car, and that site is wwinterwonderland.com, and I'm sure it's on the bottom of the screen right now. There's going to be Ned and Albert treat boxes available online when you make your purchase. Proceeds from this event directly benefit the Westchester Parks Foundation and allow them to advocate and invest in the preservation, conservation, use, and enjoyment of the Westchester County Park System. It's a great event, and that starts this Friday, November 25th, and we'll be kicking that off at right about 6:30, right at dusk. So look forward to seeing everyone there.
And we just want to highlight that we have a couple of other of our parks that have some wonderful programs that are ongoing. We have Muscoot Farm, which is not far from where we are here. They will have their holiday lights on the farm. That's going to be Fridays and Saturdays through the month of December. So that's December 2nd and 3rd, 9th and 10th, 16th and 17th. And the holiday lights on the farm is 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. The farm is going to be decorated for holiday in lights. There'll be snacks and crafts. Tickets are $25 per family of 4. Tickets are now on sale on Eventbrite. They can be accessed through the park's website or muscootfarm.org. So we have Muscoot Farm for the holidays, Lasden Park Arboretum with the train show for the holidays, and Winter Wonderland at Kensico Dam Plaza for the holidays. We also want to mention that our county parks nature centers are open for visits. We have a number of nature preserves all across the county. Lenoir Preserves has a new bee exhibit available on view. That's Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is perfectly free. And the other locations that we have the Croton Point Nature Center in Croton-on-Hudson. We have, of course, the Lenoir Preserve in Yonkers. We have 2 of them in the city of Rye. The Edith G. Reed Wildlife Sanctuary that is actually bordering on Long Island Sound as part of the Playland Complex. And then a little further south near the Mamaroneck border in Rye, the Marshlands Conservancy, which is alongside the Jay Estate, and that reaches down to the inland Milton Harbor. We have Trailside Nature Museum at Ward Pound Ridge Reservation, and that's in Cross River. And we have the Cranberry Lake Preserve in North White Plains, right off of Route 22, north of White Plains and south of the hamlet of Armonk. So all of those nature centers are open for your visits. For those of you who like active recreation, our public golf courses, there's 6 of them in Westchester County, continue to be open through Saturday, December 31st, weather permitting. Now, I know golfers are a hardy lot. Weather permitting means if it snows, there's no golf, fellas. Sorry about that, even if you have a colored golf ball. But if the weather stays clement, you'll still be able to play at Dunwoody Golf Course in Yonkers. Also in Yonkers, the Sprain Lake Golf Course. And then we have on the Sound Shore side, Maplemore Golf Course, which is in White Plains, and Saxon Woods Golf Course, which is in Scarsdale. And then in northern Westchester, there are 2 golf courses, Hudson Hills in Ossining and Mohansick Golf Course in Yorktown Heights. So 2 in the northern part of the county, 2 in Yonkers, 2 on the Sound Shore, 6 public golf courses. Good golf experience, much more financially affordable for those who get their golf publicly, and we're very happy to continue our golf program through November and December, weather permitting. This Parks Department has been celebrating 100-year anniversary of the Park Commission, which laid the foundations for all of the various parks that you see, the recreation and the conservation. There's a traveling station where you can learn more about the Parks Department history. It's currently on view at Mountain Lakes, which is located in the town of North Salem, and it'll be back here at Lasden in the month of December. You'll also see signs at our Parks Code. We're getting to the 21st century with QR codes. You can take your cell phone, you take a picture of it, and connect you to information. The Parks Department has released a survey and is looking for your feedback on its facilities and how the public envisions the future of the Westchester County Park System. We're all very proud of the 55 parks that we have in Westchester County that span one end of the county to the other, and all different kind of uses. Some of them, of course, seasonally. We have 2 beaches, and we have 4 pools, and they're closed this time of the year. We have miniature golf courses, we have public golf courses, we have nature centers, and then we have these specialty parks that we've described, and there's hiking and paths everywhere, North County Trailway and South County Trailway, alongside the Bronx River Parkway. We've made improvements to all of those different parks over the course of the last couple of years. I mentioned just a second ago when we talked about the fiscal stability of the county and how much we rely on our professionals in the budget department and the finance department. In recent weeks, we've talked about our law enforcement functions in the county government, our county Department of Public Safety, the county police. The Corrections Department manages our jail and other facilities, and our Probation Department and the professionalism that we have there. Well, in the Parks Department as well, we have great professionals. I want to invite our first Deputy Commissioner, Peter Tartaglia, who's been involved in this department for years. It's really a family more than it's a department, and I want him to just share a few thoughts at this moment, and then also perhaps highlight some of the individuals who are with us today and maybe some other individuals that deserve recognition, because you're watching a tremendous amount of energy go into our holiday season for the enjoyment of the people who live here in Westchester County. Peter Tartaglia.
Thank you, George and Ken. Thank you. On behalf of Kathy O'Connor and myself, welcome to the most wonderful time of the year in the Parks Department. You heard about some of the holiday programs we have. We have an unbelievable staff who works on all of these programs, in particular here at Lasden for Holidays on the Hill. You've got Jessica Schuler, who is the head of our park here, Lasden Park, but you've got a wonderful staff that work with her daily. You have Carol Genovese, Gigi Carnes, Louis Antonelli, and thank you all for everything you do, and all of the other people who work here. You don't see a lot of, the workers who are outside doing things all the time. Our marketing division is always extremely important to everything we do. We have to get the word out. Thank you to Linda Lavallo, our Director of Marketing, and Lori Sage. They make up the team with other workers in our office to get all of this information out. So thank you, everybody, for that. As George, it's a little dizzying. We do not stop, and that's because we're here for the public. We're here year-round for the public. We have the best staff. We have the best friends groups, whether it's Friends of Lasden, Friends of Muscoot, Westchester Parks Foundation. They're all part of the events that you've heard about from George earlier. So we thank our friends. We're open 365. Some bad weather days we don't suggest you go out there, but even if it snows, We'll have cross-country skiing on those golf courses that you won't be able to play at, and lots of other things. The animals are around year-round. We're always around, so really everyone have a wonderful holiday season, and we thank Westchester County for allowing us to do what we do in parks. Thank you, George and Ken.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much, Peter Tartaglia, who's the first Deputy Commissioner of our Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Department. Kathy O'Connor is our Commissioner. She was awarded last week by 914 Inc. Outstanding service as a woman in business, and so we're very proud of Kathy, along with Dr. Damia Harris-Madden, who heads our Youth Bureau. They were both designated as part of that event, and Kathy's leadership, along with Peter's leadership and the other deputy commissioners, have really done a terrific job. I think it's important to note that we have so many different things happening at the same time. I mentioned a second ago about our fiscal stability, and I mentioned a little bit about our law enforcement. The last week we had another one of our household recycling days, this one at Playland Park. We had one the week before that in Peekskill, and before that in Yonkers. That is our Department of Environmental Facilities. That's hard at work. And also in our DPW Transportation Department, they're hard at work, and one of the things that they're responsible for is our Beeline bus system, our public transit system. So we want to remind you, which we announced last week, that from today, Monday, it's already been in effect over the weekend, through this coming Sunday, November 27th, the Beeline bus system is free. Those of you who ride the bus regularly or who have never ridden the bus at all equally are welcome to get on a Beeline bus, take it to whatever destination you have, get on the bus and just ride it for the heck of it. But the bottom line is we're trying to make public transit available to the public. We did this over the summertime from June 1st until Labor Day, and we had a very good response to it. So we're doing it again around the holiday season in the Thanksgiving period for slightly more than a week. We'll be doing it again in December from the 7th through the 26th. We'll talk more about that in our upcoming updates. But we think this is an opportunity for you, depending on where you're bound, where you're going to shop, when and where you're going to visit family. If you're going to use the Beeline bus system to access rail into New York City, whether it's at the subway or at the commuter rail side, all of those things go into the nature of our bus system being able to reach you as best as possible. We know that the bus system doesn't reach all parts of the county equally well. We've got parts of the county that are very rural, and you live quite a distance from a major road, much less from where a bus might travel. So we're discussing those issues in mobility, trying to determine how we reshape the bus system to be more effective and more efficient. But nonetheless, we think that the holiday season and having free fares during this season is a good response to all of that. The increase in ridership, I think, proves that it's a worthwhile investment. 37% increase in our ridership during our summertime effort. And if we were to provide the same level of bus service and charge you for it, to be about $2.6 million. So that is what we're covering with the revenue that we receive from other sources, and hopefully that will keep us on a good balanced standpoint. The Beeline bus system also accesses some of the other services that we have. We have express bus into Manhattan. That gets you into Manhattan. The BX M4C is an express route connector. Free rides also apply on the paratransit system. If you have any questions about the free ride program, you can call us at 914-813-7777 during normal business hours, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and you'll get more details about the bus system. Now, our public health department, we've heard a lot about the public health department in recent years because of COVID and then some other issues that have risen up. They give us, at this time of the year, very healthy tips. Most of it is common sense. As we often say, this is what mom told you, dad told you growing up, but we all need to be reminded of it. So Ken is going to remind us of some of those health tips that we received at the holiday season.
Thanks, George. And certainly everyone wants to have an enjoyable holiday season as possible. As the county executive just pointed out, we want you to plan ahead to have a safe and healthy Thanksgiving celebration. So whether you plan to take the road, cook up a storm, or just to enjoy a healthy holiday, be sure to drive, cook, and drink responsibly. Leave early to allow extra time for traffic. We always tell folks when they travel, especially during the holiday season, if you're going to an airport, pack your patience as well. Follow the health department's food safety advice and let moderation always be your guide. If you plan to visit older, more vulnerable relatives this holiday season, Please schedule those vaccine appointments. COVID-19 booster shots and flu shots are available through many area pharmacies, medical practices, and certainly through the county health department. The CDC has recommended strongly that people follow the same instructions that they have put out in the past regarding being protected for COVID, keeping the windows halfway cracked, and all those other good things to keep circulation in your environment, but also to make sure to protect those that are either older or have underlying health conditions, as well as our younger citizens, even if they can have vaccinations, which everyone mostly can have. Anyone who's under the weather should stay at home to avoid spreading any germs to others. This is the same advice as George said that mom and dad every once in a while would give us as well. For your food safety tips, follow these following instructions so that you can have an absolutely fabulous feast. To thaw a turkey, the USDA recommends placing it in a refrigerator and allowing 1 day for every 4 to 5 pounds of weight. So if you have one of those really big families that you're going to have a really big turkey, you probably are at the edge of that time frame to allow that 1 day for each 4 to 5 pounds of weight. A 16-pound turkey will take 4 days to thaw. On Thanksgiving, make sure you remove your turkey from the refrigerator, but do not wash it. This spreads germs onto your kitchen surfaces. Keep your raw turkey separated from all other foods at all times. And then you use separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils when handling any raw turkey to avoid that cross-contamination. Wash items that have touched raw meat with warm soap and water or in a dishwasher. You have to cook your turkey until it reaches 165 degrees, measured by a food thermometer that is stuck into the appropriate areas inside of the turkey, by the thickest part of the breast, the innermost part of the thigh, or the innermost part of the wings. So please continue to follow those kinds of instructions. The health department also recommends your holiday hosts and their helpers follow 7 food safety tips. Always keep washing your hands and food contact surfaces with hot soapy water thoroughly and often. Certainly you can use sanitizer as well, but nothing works better than good old-fashioned soap and water. Keep raw meat and poultry and their juices away from ready-to-eat foods. Rinse all fruits and vegetables in cool, running water and remove that surface dirt. Cook that turkey and stuffing to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Refrigerate the turkey, stuffing, and sides within 2 hours. That's after you have cooked it. Reheat your leftovers to at least 165 degrees before serving. Make sure you check every temperature you can with a metal probe thermometer. Following these instructions don't mean that you're going to have a more outstanding holiday season, but if you don't follow them, it could be very dangerous and it could lead to other things that are happening. And we want everyone in Westchester, Dr. Amler wants all of us, the county executive and all of us together, want you to have a very, very healthy Thanksgiving so you can enjoy all of the things that we brought to you today. Thanks a lot, George.
Thanks very much, Ken. As Ken is checking off the list of these things that we got from the Public Health Department, I was reminded of growing up in my parents' household where my mother was the cook, my father was a very good cook, and the two of them would be in the kitchen, very small kitchen, discussing, arguing over elements of how the Thanksgiving dinner was coming together, no doubt discussing these issues. And then when my younger sister was of age, and she was a pretty good cook too, she'd get in the middle of the arguments. I did not know anything about these things. I sat in the living room with the TV on, watching the parades followed by football, waiting to eat turkey and fall asleep on the couch for the rest of the day. So that was my contribution to the Thanksgiving experience. I'll bet there's a few other men out there who have the same experience. But nonetheless, these are all intelligent, helpful tips, and hopefully the cooks will follow this so that those that are just watching the football game, eating turkey and falling asleep will do so on a healthy fashion. We have an annual holiday gift drive at hand. We had an announcement last week about that. This is our 17th annual gift drive. Barbara Sabater has really, Sabater has done a great job with DSS in setting this up. We have collection boxes in the lobby of our office building at 148 Martine Avenue and at other DSS offices around the county on Washington Avenue and Peekskill. We have 2 other locations in White Plains at Court Street and East Post Road locations, in Mount Vernon at 100 East 1st Street, in Yonkers on Warburton. And in each of those different areas, we invite you to drop off a gift that would be suitable for a child anywhere from toddler to teenager, so that all of those who are in our foster care programs in DSS, all of who are in homeless settings, all of them who are under sort of targeted protective and preventive services will also have a gift waiting for them under the Christmas tree or at the holiday season. We think it's more than 900 children that the county serves in these stressful situations, and we very much want to invite you to be generous, and our labor force is being generous, bringing those gifts in. You'll see the boxes right in a prominent area, and we're happy to collect those things for the holiday gift drive so that those can be sent out to other individuals. Monetary donations are accepted in the form of gift cards. There's a host of different ways you can do that, made out to the Westchester Child Welfare Holiday Fund. Barbara Sabater is responsible for this. We have an email address here at wcdssholidaygiftdrive@gmail.com. There's an electronic source under Zelle that you can respond as well if you'd like to be helpful to this. And there'll be some information here, and you can also go on our website, westchestergov.com, to learn more about our holiday gift drive. I had the opportunity when I was on a Facebook post, a personal one, so I was just responding to individuals on my own page. And one of those individuals said, county government is worthless. We don't need county government. And I responded back, and as nicely as I could, because it is a public forum, that I thought he was ill-informed. And I think just this report gives you a sense of the scope of the things that we do in county government. They may not affect every single person, but they affect large swaths of our people. The law enforcement of the county police, of the corrections department, of the probations department, those that want to recycle household products that can't be properly disposed of, and the normal disposition of garbage and recyclables and sewage through our Department of Environmental Facilities. The extensive parks and recreation that we have that bring joy, that you can take your kids to things here at Lasden, at Kensico, at Muscoot Farms. The Department of Health being on call and on duty, keeping an eye out for the things that will give us proper health, both in communicable diseases and then in sort of the normal everyday living. And we didn't touch upon the work that our Department of Community Mental Health does, or many of the other departments of county government. It's important to understand that what government is a societal response to issues that are greater than what the individual can do alone. And in those circumstances, it's certainly debatable. We live in a democracy where people have different points of view, people have different partisan affiliations, and I have no doubt that no matter what I say, people who have a different partisan affiliation will comment on Facebook to the opposite. But that's democracy, and I can accept that as long as they can accept that there's more than they may understand about what county government does. And what we're trying to do in these updates is to give you a window on these things so you understand what it is that is occurring if you're not personally exposed to it. If you live in one corner of the county and you don't live in a corner of the county where you might happen to be at Lasden or Muscoot, or similarly where you live closer to an area where we have a household recycling day, and so you don't see it, so you don't really realize what it is and what it does. All of these things factor in together, and we're very proud that we've got professionals in this government that are doing their very utmost. And as we now get ready to work on our county budget, the Board of Legislators is going through a review of the budget. They have public sessions upcoming, both for their committee meetings and for public input. They will make some decisions, and leading up to what we hope will be on Monday, December 12th, their ultimate discretion on the budget, and then we will follow with our executive function after that. But all of those things fit together in an environment where we have submitted for the fourth straight year a reduction in your property taxes. So when people say, oh, you're giving a bus benefit to somebody else, I'm paying for it. You're paying for a variety of services, as am I paying for a variety of services. We may not use those services, but those services are accessible to us if we need them. And that's the important part. Whether you use them or not, it's not a user fee to have garbage disposal. If you put out a bag of garbage and I put out 2 bags of garbage, there's garbage disposal, and that is part of what gives us public health, and that's why we do it. And the same is true across the board. It's very important in a climate where people have their points of view and there's a certain divisiveness that you step back and look at the big picture of where we are. This is the greatest country on the planet, but not just because we have those veterans who we honored 10 days ago who put their lives on the line for us. We are a great country because we view the needs of everybody, not just ourselves, as being important. And the scope and the size of this county government shows that, whether we're trying to provide something that will entertain young people or something that will deal with crime when it occurs and mete out justice where it occurs and where you have household needs that they're addressed. Tomorrow, I will have the 30th anniversary of my 39th birthday. That is one way to say it. I could actually say it's the 50th anniversary of my 19th birthday. But whatever it is, I've had the opportunity to be here for a while. Born in this county, spent most of my time in this county, although I spent some time in other places, returned after some corporate years to really reappreciate what Westchester County is. And I invite you, as we approach Thanksgiving, to do exactly that. There are things in our society that we're not happy with, all of us. There are things that make us agitated. And you can wake up in the morning agitated, and you're an American, you have a free right to your opinion. But there's so many things to be thankful for. There's so many things that we have that other people don't have. And to understand that and to put that in proper perspective, even with the disappointments we have, even with the problems we have in the economy today, to understand that underneath all of this is a bounty in this land of ours and in this county of ours that require us to be thankful. Not thankful to the government, thankful to an almighty, which I believe in and you may believe in as well, but to be thankful in general that we have these things that we have. I'm thankful that we have professionals that put in time and energy and effort and to enjoy what's here at Lasden. We hope you'll come up here for Holidays on the Hill at Lasden Park. We hope you'll make the drive through this wonderful winter wonderland in Kensico. We hope you'll stop by Muscoot Farm and do all these other things that are really designed for your benefit and for your family's benefit. I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving and a healthy Thanksgiving on behalf of Ken and all of our executive team, Kathy O'Connor, Peter Tartaglia, and all the men and women who work for this county government. I am in perpetual gratitude for all of their professional work and their professional services. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. It's a pleasure to be with you. Now we're going to call on a visitor from the north, not North Salem, not North Castle, not the northern side of the city of Mount Vernon, but the prominent visitor from the north who is going to lead us to help us do something that I would love to have done when I was 11 years old, which is get these trains running. May I introduce to you the famous Santa Claus.
Happy holidays, Ken. Happy holidays, Peter. Happy holidays,
Santa,
George.
it's a pleasure
Happy
to see
holidays.
you.
Well, welcome everybody. As George said, the show opens Saturday. And right now, as an early birthday present for the man, I'm going to let him turn them on.
Thanks.
So over you go.
Thank you, sir.